Hey everyone, we're living in this world that's just overflowing. It's all information, algorithms, and just so much digital noise, right? It's fast, it's complicated, and honestly, it can feel like we're just being swept along for the ride. But are we? Today, we're going to dig into some really powerful ideas that suggest we have way more control than we think. So let's just start with a question that gets right to the heart of it. Just think about your own digital life for a second. Your feeds, the notifications that pop up, the stuff that somehow just finds you. Are you really the one pulling the strings? And that's the big challenge we're exploring here. How to reclaim our own control, our own digital sovereignty, in a world that's literally designed to grab our attention and not let go. All right, so how did we even get here? To really get a handle on what we're all experiencing online, we actually need to look back at a thinker who kind of saw this all coming, decades ago. His name was Marshall McLuhan. And his big idea was that we weren't really heading into some hyper-individual future. We were actually going back to something way more primal. He had a name for it, retribalization. The theory is basically this. Electronic media, and you have to believe the internet is the ultimate version of this, is fundamentally rewiring our brains. It's taking apart that quiet, logical, individual mindset that was built over centuries of reading books, and it's throwing us back into this loud, emotional, and very collective way of being. Yeah, this slide just lays out that shift perfectly. Over on the left, you've got print culture. It's linear, it's logical, it's individual. It made us into detached observers. But on the right, you have electronic culture. It's totally immersive, it's all about emotion, and it's tribal. It doesn't just ask you to watch what's happening. It demands that you jump in and participate. We've literally gone from reading the story to being in the story 24/7. But here's the catch. This global village he talked about, it's not one big happy community. It's actually more like a planet full of these tiny, interconnected, but totally separate digital tribes. Sure, information flies around the globe instantly, creating this kind of collective nervous system where we all feel the buzz. But it also means we're fragmenting, right? We're splitting off into our own echo chambers where our narratives get amplified, leading to these constant, exhausting conflicts. Sound familiar? Okay, let's build on that with our next big idea. Because if retribalization is what's happening to us right now, the technologist Ray Kurzweil gives us a glimpse of what might be happening next. He calls it the singularity, and it's basically an exponential explosion of all the trends we are already living through. Now, the singularity isn't just about getting faster iPhones. It's a predicted phase shift in reality itself. It's this theoretical point, Kurzweil guesses around 2045, where artificial and human intelligence finally merge. And that merge will trigger a growth spurt so fast and so profound that it becomes unstoppable, irreversible, and for our current brains, probably completely incomprehensible. And this is where it all snaps back to us right now. All those tribal conflicts we were just talking about, the online outrage, the arguments, the polarization, it's not just useless noise, it's data. And that data is the training ground, it's the food source for the very AI systems that are pushing us towards the singularity. We are literally, right now, teaching the future how to think, one angry, polarized post at a time. So, when you're faced with these massive external forces, digital tribes, a coming singularity, it's pretty easy to feel like we're just passengers on a runaway train. But what if the problem is rooted in how technology is changing our collective consciousness? Well, then maybe the solution isn't more technology. Maybe it's about changing our own consciousness. Let's take a look at what both modern science and ancient wisdom have to say about the very nature of reality itself. Okay. Let's start with a really mind-bending idea from quantum mechanics. It's called Hilbert space. Now, don't worry about the math here. Just think of it like this. Behind the physical, 3D world that we all see and touch, science is suggesting there's this infinite field of pure potential. It's like the universe's blank canvas, or maybe the source code, from which our entire reality is drawn. It's the blueprint for everything that is and everything that could be. So, get this, modern physics itself is pointing to this fundamental truth. The world we experience every day is not the whole picture, not even close. It's emerging from a much deeper, unseen field of pure possibility. And what's absolutely fascinating is that science is really just catching up to an idea that spiritual traditions have been talking about for thousands of years. They just use different words for it. They called it the primordial ground or non-dual awareness, the interconnectedness of everything. This quote, from a Buddhist perspective, just nails it.
The whole point of practices like meditation is to quiet that noisy, chattering mind so you can experience this underlying reality directly. It's a place of unity where the line between me and you just dissolves, and compassion naturally comes forward. It's a state of being that sounds a lot like what quantum mechanics is suggesting mathematically.
Okay, so we've got these huge external forces pushing on us, and we've got this deep internal potential waiting inside us. This brings everything right down to a fundamental, really personal choice. It's a choice that every single one of us makes every single day about how we're going to engage with the world. This is it. This is the question for all of us. Are you just floating along in default mode? Just reacting to the algorithm, to the news, to the latest tribal outrage, just getting carried along by the current? Or are you consciously taking the wheel, setting a course, and actively creating the reality you want to live in? There's an old story that makes this so clear. A pickpocket walks up to a saint, and all he sees are pockets. The pickpocket's entire reality is built on division, on scarcity, on looking for an opportunity to take something. That is default mode in our digital world. It's reacting, shrinking in fear. But the saint? The saint looks at the same person and sees their underlying spirit, that unity. That is conscious creation. It's expanding with intention, seeing potential, and actually creating your own reality. So if we choose to walk the path of the conscious creator, how do we actually do it? How do we build that muscle? Well, it all starts with one thing: intention. So here's a practical toolkit to help you navigate your way forward. Look, making this shift from being a reactor to being a creator, it's not a one-time thing. It's a daily practice. And here are 4 foundational areas to really focus on. I want you to think of them less like a to-do list and more like a compass that can help you find your own true north in the middle of this digital storm. Let's make this super real. First, set your intention. Before you even pick up your phone, decide what you want from your day. Second, practice media hygiene. Unfollow anything and anyone that makes you feel angry or reactive. You have to be ruthless about it. Third, use tech as an ally. Let AI help you brainstorm ideas, for sure, but you have to stay the master, not the servant. And fourth, anchor yourself. Step away from the screen. Go outside. Touch grass, literally. Connect with the real physical world to ground your digital one. So we're going to end this not with a conclusion, but with a beginning. Because the power to navigate this new world isn't out there somewhere. It's right here. And it starts with a single conscious choice. So what is the one small intentional act you're going to take this week to start steering toward the future you actually want? Your answer? Well, it might just change everything.